just kind of got reached out to by a couple colleges, so I didn't really have to do that.
Scholarship.
So
Yeah.
are you still talking? I don't want to interrupt you.
No. You're good. You're good.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So I actually got really into the whole college selection process. I would look up stuff in my free time because I was just really into it. But something my parents really supported me on was going to go visit places, because I feel like that's how you can get a really good feel. So I think that's something that would be different and kind of difficult right now if you were trying to narrow down colleges, is you couldn't really go there and see what it feels like.
Mhm.
So I guess something I did that wasn't involving physically being there was just kind of making a list of what was important for me. Did I want a smaller university? Did I want liberal arts? Did I want larger? And then just kind of looking for places that fit that criteria, basically.
Good process.
Yeah, I agree. I think being there physically, going to visit it and see how you like it is really important if you're gonna spend that much money and time being there. I think you should enjoy it or the environment. So I would, if I was looking at colleges, I would do, like she said, research, narrow down, and then go visit and see how it fits with me personally.
Yeah, and financial aid. I forgot to mention that. That's something that was really important for me.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm going through on I'll be going to college through a scholarship. I just haven't, chosen which path I want to go through yet. Preferably I like to go for football. It's a lot of fun, but I'm wrestling's a big option for me too. So right now I'm just going to wait for who recruits for what sports. I'm going to reach out to a few of the colleges I'm interested in, and we'll see what they can do for me, and I'll lay my options on the table.
By the way, Aiden, I recommend Mason University for wrestling.
Oh yeah?
Mm-hmm. There's a kid in my school going there. He's he got number 1 in states this year, but he's going there this year.
What state?
Pennsylvania.
Okay, because I know the Ohio State tournament got canceled. I qualified, and I was I was so disappointed, but that's awesome though. Okay.
I know for me, I actually started looking at colleges when I was a sophomore, because I found it interesting to see what I want to do with my life. I know one of the really big aspects for me for choosing a college is where it is. So I really want to be in a city. So I look at New York, and I was looking at Boston and stuff. And I want to go into musical theater and music, and as well as legal studies. So it's I have to narrow down to what goes well with the education I want to go into.
During my junior year, my calculus teacher had me sign up for something where a bunch of colleges would send me emails. So now every time I check in an email, it's literally just flooded with colleges you have until this date to apply now. We'd love to get your application. So in a sense, yeah, they're doing it properly, but it's also really annoying and tedious for school doing it.
Yeah, I agree. I think the whole getting emails gets kind of old, but if it's through I guess if I saw someone who was doing a campaign on Instagram and it was something personal, you can tell knew about it and they'd been there, and then I'd probably read it and be interested, or if it was on a billboard. And honestly, it just kind of depends on where I am in the process, because I think at a certain point in the college process, you get to a point where you're you'll consider anything, at least for a little bit. You'll think about it. You just look for some options to have. So a lot of it just depends on timing and finding those people that are searching for that at that moment.
Yeah, I agree. The timing is needs to be right for where you are in the stage, like she said. But I also I've had people come and talk, but some of them also have videos displayed of someone's life in college, or how it is, or a walkthrough of the campus. And I really like that, because you don't have the opportunity to go, you can see what it's like and through the view of one of the students personally.
Yeah.
I think that like influencers are really important for like colleges that aren't as well known. Like NYU, I know that college because like I know the name and like I'm sure most people have heard of it. But then like Corning, I wasn't sure what that college was until I like found out research about it. And so I think that influencers really help because it's like a trustworthy person to like relay the message on, kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
definitely.
completely agree with her. I think that's a very smart thing to say. I mean, Stark State I wasn't as well known about until I was asked to be an influencer for their campaign. And I feel like when I did that, you know, I learned a lot more about that college. And I actually started to get like, you know, like not interested in going there, but I was interested in, you know, the college itself, just obviously so I knew what I was like influencing for. But I don't know, I think, you know, it was really fun getting to know the college that you were campaigning for. I think it was a good process.
I think it would be needed, and the fact that it's a bunch of high schoolers ourselves that are going through the process that are being the influencers, a lot of other people our age can relate to it and see, oh, this guy's just like us or whatever, and maybe I should actually check into this.
Yeah, definitely. Like when I campaigned for Eastern Kentucky, like I never had that like in my mind, like I want to go there. But after I was an influencer and like learned more about it and got to go there, it definitely is one of my options now. I liked it a lot.
I've taken a college virtual tour, and it was actually really fun. There was like the football head coach, and he was like going through the whole campus. And at one point, I went to like the basketball gym, and he grabbed the basketball. He tried to half court it, completely missed. He's like, you know what? He's like, we give great effort though. It's like next time I'm gonna make it. And I was just sitting there. I was like, okay. I thought it was funny, but like I don't know, like there's a very good way to go about doing that, and I feel like the college tour that I went through was displayed very well. They actually had some of their because it was for football, they had some of their like star football players come on, and they would talk to you for a little bit. So it does depend on how you go about it. Like if you're just gonna show like a slideshow, I think you know you're wasting everybody's time. But you know, if you choreograph it in a way to where it's put together well, I think it could be very beneficial for everybody.
Well, I know for the campaign that we did, we never went to the campus. It was just we got a sweatshirt and like a teddy bear, and we took like photos with it, and then got information on the college and displayed it to like our viewers. And so I thought that was like a good way, because I had a lot of people asking me like after the fact, like in my school, they were like, what was that you were doing? And I explained it to them. They were like, oh, that's really cool. And so it got them interested in looking into the college.
Yeah, that's about the same for how my process went, except for my thing got shut down. But we still did get through one of the posts, or postponed, not shut down, but you know, we still got through one of the posts. So, you know, a lot of people were asking about it, and I thought it was pretty fun. And
Yeah,
a lot of people got informed.
I think you should like integrate people's interest when you're talking about the college. Like, look, maybe research on your own time, or like the college could like send pamphlets or like information and key in a lot of the interests that most people have individually.
Yeah, I agree. And I think people are also just looking for something like interactive, you know, like just a way to connect with other people too. So if you can like make your post something where they can like easily comment, or easily like, I don't know, use your story as like a way to answer questions or like do a poll, I think like people would really react well to that, because like we're especially spending a lot of time on social media now, I think, with all of this free time at home.
Mhm.
I think mostly Instagram for me, and a lot of times like sponsored things will pop up in my feed, and that I look at a lot. Or like stories too. Like I wouldn't like see everyone's posts sometimes on my timeline, but if like I click the stories, I do see a lot more of that.
Mhm. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah. You notice that these advertisements as well, I guess, another question, how do you view them, or like what's the primary way that post-secondary is advertised to you? And then if you do click on them, are they close to you? Or are they more so like kind of like, oh, I'm nowhere near Kentucky?
A lot of them are close to me, I guess, because like you can see my location or I don't know what, but a lot are in my area or at least around surrounding states, but closer to the border of Kentucky.
Wow.
That's like the same for me as well. A lot of the sponsored posts I get are like around New Jersey or New York or Pennsylvania, like around that area. And the rest would be from Instagram as well, from just like following the accounts and following the colleges to see other information on them.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of entirely based. Instagram obviously can track where you are, and the sponsored posts are related to you through Instagram. So, like for me, since I'm in South Central Pennsylvania, I've had Allegheny College in Maryland, which is like 30 minutes away, Penn State, 2 hours away. I've had all the colleges since Instagram can track my location. All the sponsored posts that people have come to me and other people in my area.
No, I put email. I think email is where I get most of my like notifications and messages from colleges at least. I don't think it's Instagram so much for me personally, but I do have things come up on my feed, but it's not as noticeable really. Like, I mean, it's more noticeable when it's on Instagram, but it's not on Instagram as much. Primarily it's an email, I would say.
Yeah, I get mostly a lot of emails, and they usually like they're kind of all over the place. Like they're not really centered around my area. But I think I don't really notice it much on Instagram is because like I kind of have a habit of like once I see something is sponsored, I just kind of skip over it. So sometimes I don't see it, and then sometimes I do if I realize it's something I'm interested in. It just kind of like depends on like how interesting it looks, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Like if it's on Instagram, I guess like me, I like vibrant colors. So it would be like how it's displayed, and that's a very key thing that attracts my attention, I guess. I don't know if that's for a lot of people, but yeah.
If it looks like something that like someone else would post from like being on college, like on a college campus, and it like looks really pretty, then I'm like, oh, I wonder where that is, and then I'm like, okay, it's sponsored. So it kind of has to like trick you into it almost.
I know my email is like flooded with colleges, but I don't click on any of them. So I don't really know what they're trying to say because I get so many. So that's why like Instagram, it's like more, there's less of them, so I can pay more attention to them.
Yeah, definitely.
I would put myself in the photo because, you know, they know me, you know. I've been around most of the kids my age in my school, kind of a thing. So I feel like me just being in the photo itself would be more comforting to go into a link. Whether if it's just like a picture of merchandise, I put it on there. It's, you know, it's not eye appealing. There's nothing to really look forward to. So I feel like when you surround yourself with, you know, with people you know, kind of a thing, it makes it more appealing for like the people in your high school or whatever you're doing it from.
Yeah, I definitely agree. That gives like a more personal connection, I feel, and a lot of people like that, or like they're like, oh, they're interested in that, maybe I should check it out too.
I think using like social media is like really important, like especially like right now, and that like you need someone that's like reliable and like relatable to the people that you're trying to reach, because that way it gives them more of like, oh, they're doing it, so that's a good reason I should do it too.
Yeah. And I think like framing it as something as like even though we're all like home right now, or we're all like doing something right now, like you still have something to like look forward to. So I think like addressing that, the fact that like we're all kind of like going through a similar thing, but like going to college, choosing your college, like that's something that we all have a chance to like think about now. I think if you really frame it that way and make it like personal and relatable, I would definitely want to read it to it.